Bonjour, I am Olivier Charlier. I teach the violin in the Paris Conservatory. And now, Giovanna Sevi will play for us the 24th Caprice of Paganini. Bravo, Giovanna. Okay, so that piece is probably one of the most famous theme of the violin music, and not only violin music. The theme is great inventivity and full of possibility in the variation. And so we have that great tune to express, and we have the very specific form of composition than variations. And variations is something great, and specifically when you have Paganini making variation, all the kind of difficulties of the violin are there one after the other. So with yes, great diversity, great contrast between what is melodic, what is chords, what is very, very slow melody, very acrobatic jumping bow mobility there. And so I think, bravo, so you have a very good position of the violin, so a lot of clear movement of the left hand and a lot of great qualities there. My first remark will be about the possibility to get something clear in the sound in different contexts, something very loud or something very soft, or jumping or legato. And so we have maybe the possibility sometimes to take more time between the variation to really switch from one way to play to the other. There is not in that romantic music. I don't think we have to keep the same tempo all the time. No, every variation is a different piece of music with the same harmonic construction, the same theme, but with probably the possibility and the need to completely reinvent the way we play the violin, so from one to the other. So that's difficult because it's very quick, and so we have to push, and we will practice one variation after the other to develop and to decide what is maybe the specific character of every variation, and depending of the character, we will choose the tempo, we'll choose the way to use the bow, the different way to phrase the same theme, because that's theme could be phrased with different directions. So you have actually great concentration, great continuity of that. I would like to feel then every time we go to the next part, next variation, I have another violinist in front of me. So maybe another instrument or another concept of the sound of the violin, and so this is one of the goal of that piece to show in a few minutes all the éventail of what exists on the sound of the violin. So let's replay the tune there with the yam pagadagadatim, pagadagadatam, pagadagadatim. So is there? So it's the same rhythm, like in many of the variation. So same rhythm, but different harmonies. So different direction and probably different way to pronounce or to value. So it's something I try to discover when I have a score. What is behind the notes as a proposition, direction, even if there is some common rhythm, but the melody, the harmonies, or even just what I want to say will not be repetitive. The repetitivity is not something really indispensable. So we need some symmetry, we need some construction, but so with just a little something of difference, you can imagine. So just because the sun is changing all the time, so the light is not coming the same direction, and so we will get some shadows there in that direction. This is south, this is east, and so in the music there is something like that. Even if we go straight, yes, but the world around moves. So let's replay and do some work on the theme first. Mm-hmm. you play with freedom? And I do like that. So I have some question, and you know, when I have a question, that means I don't have the answer. Maybe you have it, but so music is more question than answers, and that's a good thing, because answer is something definitive, and it fixed. Fix the thing, and it's not good. So actually, so I feel, you tell me if it's what you want to do. You do value the repeated notes. Is that your idea?
Maybe because I want it to be very rhythmic, but maybe I exaggerate.
Yes. So don't make the confusion. Very rhythmic, I agree. So it's possible to be very rhythmic without playing accents. So sometimes we want to do something. I want that very beautiful. So I play slower. Maybe not. Maybe you can play beautiful without playing slower. It could be very rhythmic without playing louder. So it could be the idea to play like a cha cha, to get something a little jazzy. Why not? It's very possible, and I'm sure jazz man could play that music very nicely. But so if you want to do something with insisting on the syncopation more than the beats, so we will try to get that correctly. Actually, it's just in between. You play the beat and you play the other side of the bar. So if it's I try to develop your idea. So very rhythmic. Play just that notes, very rhythmic as you do imagine, but let's try without playing louder. If it's not your wish to play louder, play rhythmic, but so a little normally. So if we are in the classical feeling in the music, we have the strong beat with the first one, and the weak beat with the second one. 1, 2, 1, 2, yam, pa, pa, da, 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 da. That's so in the classical where 1, 2. And so it seems to be very academic, but in fact, so I was speaking about jazzmen. Jazzmen will play 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. It's exactly the opposite. It's as academic as we are. just to decide another proportion between the beats. So if we 1 ta-ta, yam, papa, let's try to adjust all the time. When we do practice, we make some experience. We do too much. We do something different. Oh, it gives some idea. Yes, I like. No, I don't like. Oh, yes, I do it well. So and after you will imagine, you will decide what you do like by experimentation, not by just I have one idea and I follow it. So we'll do that. So just that little elements. Yes, okay, I like because it's there's no more accent. But so if you want very rhythmic, bite a little more, maybe the. Yes, okay, and because everything is a comparison, if you want this one not to be louder than the first one, there's two possibilities: to play softer, this one, or to play louder, this one. Maybe the head of the note could be maybe with a little more transition. Try. And so I like the idea to make some experiences also, because it gives to your arm the possibility to develop different conception. Not only I do up and down, but there's hundreds and hundreds of ways to do up bow or down bow. So pa, 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 pi, pi, pi. Insist a little more on the long, short, short, long, short, short. And bite, pa, pa. Yes. Okay. So I like the idea. You did different ways to pronounce that, and clearly your sound is more pure than before. By the way, just to focus, so I know we have played 2 notes, so there is more than 2 notes in that theme, in that caprice. Okay, but by cleaning, by deciding what you want to that 2 notes, in fact, you did invent, you did produce, you did propose to your ears some clear sound. So now we will try just to keep that clear sound there, to please your ears also by the way, or your proportion of dynamics is now. So I don't know what you will decide, and so I don't want you to decide already something, but so you develop your taste and what you did propose, and by knowledge of, so it could be more, it could be less. Now feel your instinct or your comprehension of what we did before. And the result will come by the accumulation of just little experiences and the knowledge you have now. So let's play the tune now with something you like. Okay, why not? So I prefer that proportion. So I think you will develop the. The articulation could be maybe more pronounced. What about? So there is more diversity in the 16, in the second half than the first one. So probably the pronunciation could be more different. Play just that, the second beat. Just that, just to be confident and to be also informed of what the melody travels in different harmonies. Only the second beat, la di da da da. Yes, okay, I love it. The song. For me, propose. Answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 notes says we have a very short theme. So every note will propose something. Giovanna, for violinistically, you want to play a lot of notes and you start there. So I feel you a little shorter. Give more generosity, maybe in the distance of bow you use. Yes, by 2, proposition, response. Be careful not don't change the tempo subito between the 2 last. Okay, now you forget everything. So and you just replay the theme as you would like to express it. I don't pretend you will change completely. I'm not sure you will get immediately some good results. But so the experimentation or the way, if you are looking for something, so we develop the ability to appreciate some specific way you do value and to push this in a different direction. To practice for me is to try to to change what we do. So not only to do what we do usually and what we do develop the same image of ourselves, but how could I be different? So what could I invent, propose, appreciate, and change? Theme again, I don't speak, I will try. Okay, so the sound is more clear, so that's great. So it's a little slower, but I don't complain because actually you have more time to express and to make the good quality of everything. And so after, if you want the tempo to be faster, you will. For me to change the tempo is a question of training there. So we do slowly first with good quality, and after the good quality becomes more comfortable, and so we can change the tempo. The proportion are always important, but the tempo by itself is something with another level. That's very important for final interpretation. But when practicing, so it's some element we can change. Just your last one is very different for the tempo between the previous one. But why not? Everything is possible in that kind of music if it's with the good way, and if you are convinced, and if you do it with not only your confidence but your decision. I want to do that, so it's a little bizarre, but I believe on that, and so because you believe, it becomes normal for everybody. So first variation, how would you give the difference? The theme is melodic, it's something with a little more diabolic, probably jumping and contrast. So I have completely a triplet and not anymore binary but ternary rhythm. So change completely your state of mind, and so imagine maybe another tempo. I don't know what you do imagine, so what kind of animal is there. So propose something for the first variation.